maybe there's somebody out there that is feeling down on themselves, right? They feel not full blown depression, but they feel depressed. They feel like there's more to life, than just doing the mundane things you have been doing for the past, 10 years. And there's more to life than just, waiting every single weekend to go to the new restaurant, and then every weekend going to some new event. And all the while, you are not answering that call within, deep inside you, to become more aligned with those dreams that you had, that you have covered up. And it's scratching at that door of your soul, and it wants to come out. But maybe you're too afraid. Maybe you don't even know where to start. Maybe you think that the best times, your prime years have gone behind you, and you become this hardened soul. Your heart has become hard to anybody giving you some information. Maybe you tried out that stuff too. Maybe you had a friend that told you about affirmations, and you did those affirmations, and it just felt stupid. It's like, what the hell? I am wealthy, when your bank account is like 0, and you're saying I am wealthy. I mean, that's not going to affect you, and it didn't affect you. Maybe you're reading the affirmation that I am lovable, or I will find a spouse, or I will get that promotion, or I am worthy, and you're saying all these things, and you tried it, and it just didn't work. And guess what? When you stopped doing that, you started to maybe get some satisfaction from, eating a little bit more at night, or watching some different kind of movies that satisfy that rage inside you, like a horror movie, or something. Maybe you joined an organization and just stood for some cause that you just wanted some company, maybe, and the reason why those things don't work is because you have to open that door. That's your soul knocking on that door. You have to open that door. And you can't open that door unless you change your limited beliefs, unless you change what you believe about yourself. This is why that stuff doesn't work. Yes, you can maybe benefit from those things on the exterior, but unless you change yourself from within, it's always going to feel empty. The question for me, most of my life is like, what am I? Like, what am I? Who am I? Am I an Indian person in America? Like, what does that mean? I mean, I'm Muslim. What does that mean? Okay, then I'm from the suburbs. There's it's energy. It made me who I was. All these labels, and then what happened was, these labels started to define me. All these things around me started to define me, all the while covering my soul up. That thing that I knew, I had a vision since I was a child for doing. Everybody has some dream. Everybody has something they want, something they have longed for from the bottom of their heart since they were a child. It could be being a farmer or working with animals. It doesn't matter. I'm saying is, everybody had something. I've had something all my life too, and only until I've actually started to answer that call and to start to become that energy, that version of myself in the now. It's like, I don't know how to say this, but it's like, it's transformation. And when you understand what you are, what really you are, then you can understand why. You know, and when you understand why, then you understand your purpose, and you're liberated. Your soul is liberated to kind of like give you that real vision, that real understanding of what reality is. The thing is, this information that I'm talking to you about, it's available. It's available in many different ways, in many different ancient cultural traditions of spirituality and of inner work, of uncovering that answer from within. It has been demonized in our society. It has been made fun of by logical science, and it has been, you know, you've been told it's forbidden, or you've been told it's, you know, you can't do that, only the prophets did that, or you've been told that you're not good enough, or you've been told you're a sinner, or you've been told something that maybe you're told that at a younger age, and you held on to that same belief as a 10-year-old. You're holding on to it as a 40-year-old. And that is limiting you. A cough is not going to stop me from telling you this truth. Okay? It's not. And basically, the whole system has been catering to a child. Only a child needs to be told they can't cross the road when there's cars, you know, or on this red light, like a child. And you say, well, adults need that too because they get hit. Because they're not adults, they're adults in their body, but they're still children in the psyche, in the subconscious mind which runs reality. They're still a child. And that's what I'm talking about. You go down within your depths of your soul, and you find that child, that scared child, and you raise it up. That's what I teach. That's what I offer. That's the service I offer. And to even get to that understanding, you have to know what you are, what your energy is. Everybody, when they were born at a certain time, at a certain location, at a certain season, in a certain time of day when the sun was out, or noon, or it was midnight, or it was like a celestial event going on, you know, and or there was like a revolution, you know, in the world. I was born in 1979 in India, in a village near Nepal, in India. But, you know, so the thing is, when I was born from the darkness of my mother's womb, and I came out into the light of the physical 3D reality, into the light, into the energy stuck to your pure soul, right? That manifested in that baby's body, that energy. All the environment, all the lights of the sky, where Venus is and where this star and this constellation, all that stuff. The ancients understood this so detailed. They understood the psyche of the mind. They understood this reality is an illusion. You know, everybody knows. I mean, even science says it's quantum physics, and there's only 118 elements. You know, I mean, I might be off a little bit, but there's only like 118 elements, 6 noble gases, and the rest are elements that make up the solar system, like hydrogen and carbon and zinc and all these different elements, right? They make up our body. They're found everywhere in the world, even in like all the matter is basically that periodic table. Okay, and what the hell is it? It's just when they take a hydrogen, and they look through the microscope, an electronic microscope, and they see the atoms, and then they go deeper and it's just more atoms and more atoms, and then it's like there's electrons and they're spinning, and there's magnetism. So like the difference between one and another is just a different weight of the atomic weight, and what it forms in terms of with that weight and the way the atoms are, the electrons are vibrating, their vibratory rate. That's all it is. That's all we are, put in a conscious form. But if you don't know that, and you don't know what different lights, what different systems have kind of imprinted on you, that's your foundation. That's your foundation. And then from that point, you're put into, the system, and you're like, grown. You grow up like a normal kid, or a normal child, and the movies of the 80s had a big impact on me, like RoboCop, dude. RoboCop came out in 1986, I was like 7 years old, and guess what? I became a Detroit cop. I became a Detroit cop in 1998 to 2004. Detroit police, okay, RoboCop, yes, and it's like everything is planned out. That's the amazing part of understanding these kind of truths that I uncover for you, and I give you the tools. I don't tell you about your future or anything. No, I explain to you your foundation and what you have to strengthen. And here are the tools to strengthen it, and you go and do it. And I watch you. I basically mentor you for 3 months, and and we're friends. We're connected forever because everything is one. It's all into oneness, But you've been told all your life that you can't know these kind of things. It's like, why not? Why can't you? Even as a joke, you can't even look at this. It's like, what? That doesn't make sense. Even as like a child, yes, a child, their mind gets imprinted. See, the thing is, the collective consciousness is so low vibration, as in terms of like, they're stuck in just the mundane world, And the thing is, you are awakened. You're even watching me right now because there's something in you that's telling you that there's more. And guess what? There is more. And it's proven by science. See, that's the thing. You've been searching for your intellect to be satisfied forever. But the thing is, intellect is the physical. It only knows what it is from the physical, what it got from other people and all that stuff, which is good. That's just one half of it. The other half is going within. That's the complete part of it. It's not out there. You got all the information. Now you got to go within with that information. And that's what I do. I help you go within. And there's a process. Your body has to change too. The way you eat, the way you think about yourself, the way you vision yourself. You have to have goals. You have to have goals that aren't just mundane goals. But of course, the thing is, your goals, the way your physical, your ego self wants things, it'll get things in a way that becomes a byproduct of that higher cause. And it's like, it's going to be satisfied in a way that it can imagine, because your ego, your nafs, your physical self is only stuck. It only knows what it sees and what it can imagine, right? But the divine part of you, the higher self, is connected to the ultimate source, okay? It's connected to the one mind, the divine mind. And the divine mind, what it can give to what it sees is obviously everything, infinity. So the byproduct becomes something the Caesar mind, the physical mind, that what you see and you feel, your senses, it could never even imagine it. Like things have happened, like synchronicities happen in front of you, and it's like I teach you how to read synchronicity. I teach you how to understand the vibrations around you and how to read, why do you see these numbers? What do they mean? Why do you see certain colors? And how do you watch your mind? How do you watch your thoughts? And what are your thoughts? And can you, if you can watch your thoughts and avoid them, can you plant other thoughts and harness that thought? And who says you can't? If that helps you, when you were a child, didn't you, I don't know, maybe you didn't do this, but didn't you imagine yourself as a G.I. Joe or as He-Man, like I did, or a Transformer? And it really helped you? Like the Transformer was guarding your door from the monsters? And it really actually affected you? And you slept better that night? You know, or your Barbie or your little toy is protecting you until Chucky came out. You know what I mean? But then that's the system. That's how it is. You know, because we've been told that, hey, that's stupid. You know, it's childish. Your imagination is the key, and that's what I hope you unlock. Your imagination, your true self. That's where your true self is. Okay. Thank you for listening. And it's really not the destination. It's the journey itself. It is the destination. Because time is irrelevant. Time is an illusion. And that's a concept that if you wanted to get to the quantum level, you have to understand time is an illusion. And why am I, even Saturn's guru? Because Saturn is the planet that is known for restriction, that is structure, that is the punishing planet, that is, Kronos is another example of, it's a energy of Saturn. So there's no like Saturn, guy with a beard. It's not about that. It's about energy. What energy is it? The energy is of restriction. It's, because I'm not going to even explain to you more of that, because that's what we get into in the mentorship. And I can't just tell you that now, because there's layers. There's it's like step 1, step 2, step 3, and then once you understand that, and you do it. And you experience it, and I help you tweak it. And I explain to you what this concept is and how to, think this, and how to, what to, I give you that direction, and you go yourself. And that's what a guide is supposed to do. That's what a guru is. I'm Saturn's guru, so there's a Saturn part of you that it's restricting you, but it's not about restriction, it's about structure too. It's about the divine structure. It's about understanding balance. It's about understanding where you are. And it is about restriction. You can't just do what you want. There's efficient ways to do things. And that's what I had to do in my own self. Kind of like become a friend of that part of me. The higher self, become that friend for that. And then when you go past Saturn, you have to go past Saturn. You gotta get to the different planets, which are different dimensions, gateways, thoughts, energy. Okay, like Pluto. Pluto is like the underworld, and like Neptune is like Neptune is like also like a underworld, and Neptune is the underworld, and Pluto I'm getting way ahead of myself here. Okay, so this is the service I'm offering. If you are interested, if you're actually not even interested, if you're committed to your own journey, if you're committed to transforming your own self, and this information is not easy to come by, as you know. You can't, maybe obviously you have a job, you have responsibilities, and to do this kind of research. It'll take you hundreds of hours of research, hundreds of hours of just fumbling around, and in the meantime, it's like your life will suffer in different aspects, and then it's gonna come back along. It's gonna get worse and worse. You know, you think you can do it. See, a lot of people, what they do is they think they can lose a lot of weight. Okay, so they just stop eating, right? They just stop eating certain foods, and they're like, yes, I'm gonna use my willpower. I'm gonna use my willpower, and see, the thing is, willpower breaks. You can't use power. You can't use your will's power. That's trying to force something. You can't force anything. You can't. Because if you don't have that belief from the inside, and you can't feel being that person, you can't imagine yourself, and you can't believe it like it's happening now, then you know, willpower will take you only so far, and it's gonna break. And that's the truth. It is. And I see it all around. I see it all around me, and it's really a different time now. You know, the things you did in the past, they're not going to work. It's a new age. It's a new age. It is. It's not. There's no new age religion. No, it's not new. It's all old stuff. It's just rebranded. You know, instead of calling it angels, you call it energy. Instead of calling it, you know, demons, you call it low frequency. Low energy, you know? You know, it's like, it's just different words. It doesn't make the, you know, the word angels bad. It's just, actually it's even better because it's an easier system to understand. It's a blueprint, that's all it is. Blueprint to harness energy. Okay, everyone, thank you for listening, and I look forward to your comments. I look forward to your messages, and please, if you are interested, if you are committed actually, then just DM me and we'll talk. Okay, take care. Peace.